That looks good. We got to.
Hey, we already. Is that for which one? The 310?
The Wicked Rabbit. The Wicked Wabbit of the West.
Oh man, it's a Wicked Wabbit. Yeah, you did good. Wow, she's pretty good.
You want to keep her?
I don't know.
I'll sell it. Everything got a price. The MoFly.
Okay.
MoFly. Here's your mic, good?
Yeah, I think so.
MoFly. You want to fly the plane around? We can always use a skit. Go ahead. Fly the plane around, Mike. All right. There's our funny.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Ready? Scooch over. Welcome everybody back to another episode of Gabbing with Gator. I'm Brendan.
I'm Mike.
And this is episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is 6. We've been doing this a long time. We're experts at this now.
All right.
So welcome back. Thanks for joining us for another episode here. Do me a favor. You're going to like, share, follow the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, wherever you're seeing this content at. We appreciate it immensely. The rules are simple. Ask one personal question, one business question. Throw them down in the comments below, and that's where we come up with this stuff. So if you want something, you're going to hear it right from the horse's mouth as far as an answer. We absolutely enjoy doing these for you. So I got a question, if you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. By the way, on the table here, some cool stuff. I think I think there's a story with that I think is definitely worth sharing with you. But if you guys haven't seen these from the website, we have a couple different models. We got the old Tar Heel How from MoFly, so you'll find some cool FPV foamies, easy to fly, easy to fix, very inexpensive. So if you're looking to play around with things, bind them to something like a Free Sky transmitter, or get one ready to fly that already has it. Really great option if you're not into the big RFR composite market.
They're cool. They fly nice, and they're inexpensive, and you know, you could actually learn how to fly on these things. You know, they've got stabilization on them and stuff like that.
Trick switches too, so you don't even have to know how to do a
I mean,
roll.
you know, you literally can learn how to fly on these. I mean, simulators are great, but you know, these things take a beating too. You can pretty indestructible.
Fixing is easy. Foam tack. Foam tack's your best friend with this stuff.
Yeah.
So question-wise, as a business owner, a hobby enthusiast, you've been doing this for a very long time in a lot of facets. What has been the craziest thing that's probably happened to you in that time frame, whether it's as a hobbyist or even just an owner of a business?
Well, last, what was it, June? Yeah, we were at a show in Goshen, Indiana. Okay, so he had just showed up, and it was on a Thursday afternoon. Traffic was a little bad, and actually he was kind of lucky because we were just about to start unloading when we started to see some weather come in, and we got caught in a, well, it's an EF1. I believe it was an EF1 tornado at a flying field. It was really bad. I mean, the tents went down, airplanes were damaged. So we were, I've got a 20-foot large cargo trailer, and 4 of us were stuck in there, and we took a video basically saying goodbye to everybody in our lives, you know, that we love them, and if you find this kid at the end, just know that we loved you and all this kind of stuff. We were inside the trailer, 4 guys, and this thing was being rocked around like Forrest Gump in a shrimp boat during the hurricane, you know.
That's a good analogy, because there was enough water that could have been in the middle of the ocean. There was campers that moved there, like regular RV style campers. The winds were strong enough that not only did it collapse commercial style tents, but it pushed RVs through the parking lot, blew out windows. That was kind of scary.
It was scary. So that was like, from a weather standpoint, it was one of the worst things I've been through.
So the event went on. They did a good job putting Humpty Dumpty back together again and fixing tents, and we drug some models out. We had a good time flying.
We go to some amazing events. You know, there's really a lot of effort put into the events by the organizers. A lot of the events we go to are the Warbird and Classic Alliance. That's pretty much centered in the Midwest. This year, next year, we're going to be trying to go we're going to be expanding. We'll be at one show in the Phoenix area in March with Brian O'Mara, and then the Delaware show, right?
Yep, so we're going to be doing Warbirds over Delaware. We'll also be hitting some different events. So we have the Hamburg show out in Pennsylvania. We'll be there. We're going to be at the Lebanon Trade Show Flea Market out there as well. And then as you've seen us in the 2025 year, we did Toledo and Dayton as well. So we're excited to get back to those as well as just normal events, and then flying events as well. We have some good stuff on the docket for 26.
Yeah, Brendan, so everybody knows, is involved with the company, and he is director of shows and helps us with media, social media and advertising and advice. So it's been a really good relationship with Brendan in the last year and a half or 2 years. So we feel pretty privileged to be in with him.
I look at it the other way around, and that's what actually started all of these is I wanted to share with everybody the coolest stuff that I get to see here. So around me is like, you know, we talked about it back in the Christmas episode. It's kind of like the North Pole up here. You get to see Santa and all the elves working, and you get to see all the cool Christmas gifts that are here. And you know, we try and show up with our own cargo tainer to fill it before we leave, but he always like locks the doors and doesn't let me. So we have to work on that. But so that was a very cool story. There was another one that I was just made aware of, and why don't you share that one with the group? Now Mike actually said, I don't know if I'm a good storyteller or not, and I'll tell you this, I don't know if I've ever found. I think I'm pretty good, but I think I've been trumped here. So Mike is a very good storyteller, but this is good.
I've had some good stories, but this one takes the cake. So this probably be about 10 years ago. We were at a pattern contest in Temperance, Michigan, which is the home field of the Weak Signals Club, which used to be the club for 60 years that ran the Toledo show. And they have an amazing field there that if you've ever been not been there, try to get there at some time. But anyway, we're in a pattern contest. We would fly two lines at one time, separated by a couple 100 feet. And the pilot on the right-hand side was flying his pattern up there. You know, he's doing his pattern. He's concentrating on his airplane. In the meantime, it just so happened there was a lot of hawks around that day, and they were around soaring. And a hawk was kind of flying a little bit outside of our pattern, and he must have seen a mouse, okay? So this mouse, knowing that this hawk was coming after him, started darted across the asphalt at the flying field, and it was looking for sanctuary. Well, the pilot on the right-hand side happened to have these long pants on. Well, this mouse came running up his shoes, went up his pants, okay, in order to get protected from the hawk. Well, this guy's flying, and he's got a mouse up his leg. And luckily, he got the airplane in, but he's shaking his leg, and, you know, we all saw it. It was
I'm assuming he didn't place well in that flight.
No, that flight didn't go too well. But he was like, so the old mouse up your trouser story was a good one, I thought.
So is this where skinny jeans were originated,
These,
do you think?
yeah, probably. Yeah, he had these... almost like bell bottoms, you know.
Yep, and now you know, don't wear bell bottoms when you go to the field. You're either shorts or you're in skinny jeans. There's no in between. That's awesome, but yeah, that's a good story. I think that's
a good one. Okay, great.
That's worth telling. So anyway, so the other thing is we have on the table here, we deal with carbon wing spars a lot and things like that, but I share a lot of tips, tricks with you guys across the channel, social media, whether it's through Gator, whether it's through the Just Plain Crazy side, any of that type of stuff. But this was actually something when we were talking about this that's worth noting for you guys. If you ever decide to get away from the aluminum wing tube spars and you want to go with carbon, it's well worth doing. It has its major advantages to it, but there's an intricacy to this you should know about.
Now, there's a couple things about wing tubes that you should know, okay? Is that carbon fiber wing tubes, they're very light, but they're a lot thinner and they're really strong. But the way we sell our carbon tubes, and we don't separate them, is we sell them as two-piece, okay? We have the outside sleeve, okay, which is made of fiberglass, and then in the inside of it, okay, is carbon fiber, all right? Now, the important thing is, as you buy them, and we've had multiple calls, and we even put a little disclaimer now on the outside, the plastic sleeve that it goes in, is that there's two pieces, okay? So people call us up and they go like, this isn't the right size. And I'm like, well, here, put your thumb inside there like this, okay? Or put your finger in there.
Give it a push.
Twist it out, okay? And you'll find out there's two pieces. We've had guys actually build their wings to the outside sleeve, not understanding that there's two pieces in here. Well, I know, so just so you know. And the other thing about wing tubes that I tell people, and this is really important, okay, is people say, oh, my wing tube broke. It's almost impossible to break a wing tube, all right? I don't care what kind of pressure is. What breaks wing tubes on airplanes is a bad fit between the root rib and the fuselage, or a weak structure inside the fuselage that cracks, okay? So, but if you got your fuselage and then you've got your root rib on your wing and they come together without any gap, okay, all the way through, no gap on both sides, you're not gonna break a wing tube. I'll tell you that when you have a gap that's in between there of any kind, there's a weak point, and that's what will lead to a broken wing tube and you know, your wing taken off and lawn darting, okay? So just know that the fit between your root rib and the fuse and the structure inside the fuse that holds it, if those have to be sound in order for the wing tube to work.
So good fitment. Good fitment's important. So there you go. So there's your wing tube tip of the day. So we've
also, can I bring this up? Okay,
we
sell wing tubes in a lot of different sizes.
A lot of sizes.
Okay, and we have them all custom made, and they're made by a company that, believe it or not, their main business is making, they're making golf clubs. You know,
golf
the
clubs.
Sticks. Yeah, it's their main business is they make golf clubs. You know. So
they have to endure bad golfers throwing the golf
so
clubs.
that's why, and they're extremely accurate. We have never had a complaint for a wing tube that isn't straight or has a bow in it or anything like that. And we make them in a lot of different sizes. But if there's a size that you think that we should be making, just email me at mike@gator-rc.com and tell me, hey, Mike, you know what? There's a particular airplane that's on the market that people are looking for a wing tube for. We can have them custom made.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. So obviously, if you're looking to lighten up a model a little bit, that's a great place to start. So business questions out of the way, personal question. And we talked about this with your daughter, Ashley, in the last episode. We use certain verbiage when it comes to this hobby. There's a hot button for a lot of people. And one of the big ones that tends to get people, and sometimes we poke the bear on purpose, is the difference between the words build and assemble. Are you a builder or are you an assembler? What have you done for most of your life?
It depends on what age. Lately, I don't do anything. I have a professional team of builders. To be honest with you, we have like 3 or 4 guys that we work with, and one of our builder is now working on airplane number 400 and something. Okay,
nice. That's impressive.
Yeah, he's building our MB339 with an electric on it. He builds all of our pattern planes. He does turnkey airplanes for our customers. So like say somewhere in the neighborhood of 400. So while I can build, I'm a little busy with the business, and I like the way he builds better than I do. So we do that. I've assembled airplanes since I was 7 years old. And I know how to build an airplane, but I don't particularly like building airplanes
So
anymore.
you like to assemble. So now we're more into assembly.
I like to fly. I'm getting to the point where they just hand me a transmitter.
That's not true. He lives
Oh,
in
yeah, it
Illinois.
is.
He lives in Illinois. You can't fly out here. Like, we walked through like 16 inches of snow to get into the building. It's like Pennsylvania, all right? We both got to move to some place where it's warm all year round. I'm missing out on a lot of flying time, so I'm with you there. So then I'll ask this question. We'll go one more. If you were, and I'm going to take pattern completely out of the equation for you. Get that, they don't count. If you were to only ever have one more model, what would it be, airplane type, and why? For the rest of your life, you only get one more model. What is it to fly?
Japanese Zero, because it's the best flying warbird I ever flew in my life. You know, they just, man, do they perform? You know, so we have the top RC model, 93-inch Zero, and it's a favorite airplane.
I would absolutely agree. The Zero, I have the Seagulls model version Zero in the all white, and it tracks well. That's a great flying airplane.
Super easy airplane to fly. No.
Well, guys, if a Zero is on your radar, you got some great options there available. I know that currently they got some nice top RC models in that silver scheme. That thing's pretty sharp in stock. So if you haven't, head on over to www.gator-rc.com. Check out a full line of models available from Seagull, Sebart, top RC model, and so many others. But lots of great choices there. So, Mike, I think that wraps up another episode for us, my friend. So in true closing, we'll hit it. We're going to try and get our timing right here on this one. So with that being said, till the next episode, we will see you later, alligator.